They were the shining stars of the 90s, adored on screen, envied of screen, but behind the fame, secrets, scandals, heartbreaks, and career twists you never saw coming. This is the untold story of Hollywood's golden decade, and if this glimpse into the hidden side of fame sparks your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and dive deeper with us. 1. Brendan Fraser. The fall from grace and the comeback that made Hollywood cry. He was Hollywood's golden boy, charming, ripped, and irresistibly funny. Brendan Fraser lit up the screen in the 90s and early 2000s. From Encino Man to George of the Jungle, he was the face you couldn't forget. And then came The Mummy. His rise to superstardom was complete. He had it all: the looks, the talent, the box office hits. But behind that dazzling smile, few knew what was coming next. Behind that radiant smile was a body breaking down. Brendan did his own stunts until the pain broke him. Back, knees, vocal cords, all injured, one by one. For 7 long years, he lived in and out of hospitals. Then in 2003, at a Hollywood party, came the moment that changed everything. Brendan says he was assaulted by a powerful HFP executive. The trauma hit hard: depression, anxiety, isolation. Hollywood moved on and left him behind. In 2007, Brendan and his wife Afton ended their marriage, a man once adored by millions, now breaking in silence. He left behind 3 sons, whom he loved with all his heart. But as his income dropped, a legal battle over child support began. Then came 2016. A quiet interview changed everything. Brendan looked lost, his voice shaking, eyes filled with unspoken pain. The internet called it Sad Brendan, a symbol of a fallen star. A man once adored by millions, now breaking in silence. After more than a decade in the shadows, Hollywood finally called him back. Director Darren Aronofsky chose Brendan to star in The Whale 2022. He played Charlie, an obese man, isolated, desperate to reconnect with his daughter. It was raw, emotional, haunting, and full of love, just like Brendan. At Venice Film Festival, The Whale earned a 6-minute standing ovation. Brendan wept. The world embraced him. Our fallen hero, now reborn. In March 2023, he won the Oscar for Best Actor. A beautiful ending to a 30-year journey marked by scars. And as Brendan once said, if you just stay true to yourself and keep believing, people will find you again. He did, and the world found him again. 2. Winona Ryder, 90 Seconds icon and her journey to finding herself. Her real name, Winona Laura Horowitz, born in 1971 to a rebellious, artistic family. She grew up surrounded by books, underground art, and outsider spirit. Winona had a rare kind of beauty, intelligent, haunting, and deep. She made her film debut at 15 in Lucas, but Beetlejuice 1988 made her a star. Then came Heather's 1989, and she became the new bad girl icon. Smart, edgy, unforgettable, Winona wasn't like anyone else. And in Edward Scissorhands 1990, she fell in love with Johnny Depp on and off screen. They became Hollywood's dream couple, the stuff of 90s legend. In the 90s, Winona ruled everything from indie darlings to box office hits, to Oscar nominations, a Golden Globe win, and fashion's favorite face. She chose roles with care, always chasing depth, not just fame. Smart, sensitive, fiercely outspoken, she stood for women, LGBTQ+ rights, and against Hollywood's double standards. But the spotlight comes at a cost: pressure built. She began struggling with anxiety, sleepless nights, and quiet depression. Years of pouring her soul into roles had left her emotionally drained. In 2001, Winona was arrested for shoplifting over $5,000 worth of designer goods. The world was stunned. How could she, smart, successful, adored, do this? Winona later revealed she was mentally unwell and misusing prescription meds. The court gave her probation, community service, and a hefty fine. But Hollywood was less forgiving. Studios shut their doors. No one wanted her name on a poster. Winona vanished. Winona disappeared from the spotlight. In her big movies. No red carpets. She lived quietly, almost invisibly, with books, cats, and peace. For the first time, she was allowed to just be. In rare interviews, she admitted the truth: I made mistakes. But maybe she needed that crash to finally stop and breathe. Not a fall from grace, but a step toward healing. In 2016, Netflix released Stranger Things, and Winona returned as Joyce Byers. No longer the teenage goddess. In her heavy makeup, just raw, honest acting. She was intense, instinctive, real, and it broke people's hearts in the best way. Gen Z saw a new icon. Millennials felt like they found an old friend. Winona Ryder was back, quietly, authentically, unapologetically, not trying to reclaim the past, just being who she truly is. And maybe that's the real magic. She didn't fight to be famous again. She just chose to be real. To live with peace. You can't pay enough money to buy your own peace of mind, Winona Ryder. I'm not trying to be this icon. I just wanted to be myself. And in doing that, she became an icon anyway. 3. Robert Downey Jr. isn't just Iron Man. He's the definition of someone who hit rock bottom and came back stronger than ever. Born into a showbiz family, Robert was acting before he could talk, but by age 6, his father had introduced him to drugs. That wasn't childhood, it was a slow-motion tragedy. Still, his talent was undeniable. At 27, he transformed into Charlie Chaplin and earned his first Oscar nomination. But the same spotlight that lit his path began to burn him. Drugs took over. Arrests piled up. He was in and out of courtrooms, jails, and rehab. By the early 2000s, Hollywood gave up on him. But one person didn't. Susan Levin, his future wife. She gave him an ultimatum: get clean or lose me. Robert chose love. He chose to fight. He got sober, took small roles, trained his body, rebuilt his life one piece at a time. Then came the biggest gamble of his career. In 2008, Marvel cast him as Tony Stark, a once rich genius with a broken soul. Sound familiar? Iron Man exploded. Critics loved it. Audiences adored him. And just like that, Robert wasn't just back. He was leading the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He became the highest paid actor in the world, but more than that, he became a symbol of redemption. Robert once said, getting sober is a lot harder than being an actor, but if I can do it, you can too. He's not Iron Man because of the suit. He's Iron Man because he fell, got back up, and never stopped fighting. Drew Barrymore was America's sweetheart, but behind that smile was a childhood that felt more like a war zone than a fairy tale. She became a global star at just 7 years old thanks to it. But fame came with a price: parties, alcohol, and drugs. Before she even turned 10. By 13, Drew was in rehab. By 14, she tried to take her own life. Her mother, more like a party buddy than a parent, had her institutionalized. Everyone thought her story was over. But Drew wasn't done yet. At 15, she legally emancipated herself and began rebuilding from scratch. She started taking small, odd roles. Many flopped, but slowly, Drew was becoming something new. Not just an actress, but a survivor. Then came the magic, the wedding singer, Never Been Kissed, Charlie's Angels. Her charm, her joy, it was real, because she'd earned it. Drew didn't just act, she produced, directed, and started her own company. And in 2020, she launched the Drew Barrymore Show, sharing warmth and honesty with the world. Her story isn't about fame, it's about healing, growing, and choosing light, even when all you've known is darkness. Lindsay Lohan had it all: talent, fame, a smile the world couldn't resist. But what she didn't have was time to just be a kid. At just 11, she played twin sisters in The Parent Trap and became a Hollywood darling overnight. Then came Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, Herbie Fully Loaded. She wasn't just famous, she was the moment. But the spotlight turned harsh. Paparazzi followed her everywhere. Parties replaced rehearsals. The pressure cracked her. By her early 20s, Lindsay was in and out of rehab, jail, and courtrooms. Everyone wrote her off. But what they didn't see was the girl behind the headlines. Behind the scandals was someone trying to breathe, trying to escape the character the world trapped her in. Slowly, she stepped away, moved to Dubai, rebuilt in silence, and healed out of the spotlight. And in 2022, she came back. And Netflix, ROMCOM Falling for Christmas, talk show appearances, and most of all, peace. Lindsay once said, "I've made mistakes, but I don't regret them. They made me who I am." She was a teen icon, a tabloid headline, a cautionary tale, but today, Lindsay Lohan is her own story, not ruined, not broken, just real.